This is Renee Grindlinger. I am with the magnificent, wonderful Lyle Waggoner. This is Celebrity Biograph, Chiller Theater Con 2018. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so anyway, I went out to California, and I got in an acting class, and I knocked around and met some other actors who told me about agents and so on, and finally got an agent. The agent got me a job at MGM as a talent in the new talent program.
Okay.
And then they discontinued that after a few months. And then I got an audition at 20th Century Fox for their talent program.
Okay.
And was accepted.
And was it contract? It was one.
It was a contract player,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And I was out there with Sam Elliott, Tom Selleck,
Oh my gosh.
James Brolin.
Oh my gosh.
We were all in the same class.
Nice. Nice. Did you guys share apartments or?
No.
Because I've heard stories like that where you all are buds, you all share apartments.
No, we all had our. Well, I don't know what the situation was, but anyway, after about 7 months at Fox, my agent came to me and said they're doing an interview at CBS for this new Carol Burnett Show,
Right.
and they're looking for somebody to play the part of an announcer and be her sidekick. So I went in and interviewed for that. And obviously, I got it,
Yes.
which was probably the luckiest thing that could have happened to anybody.
Well, I have to tell you, I watched the Carol Burnett Show when I was a kid, and you were one of the reasons why I watched.
Renee, that's very sweet. Thank you. So anyway, we did the show, and we had a fantastic time. I mean, you can see that we had a lot of fun on there. It was just nonstop laughing.
I don't know why I remember, but one episode, you guys were doing commercials, and you had these X's on your underarms. And I remember Carol ripping them off and going,
black tape they had on there. Yeah, and that was a takeoff on a commercial.
yes, well, an underarm deodorant commercial.
Yeah.
It's too funny.
So she came up and ripped them off.
And your expression
Yeah,
was priceless.
I had to respond.
Yes.
We did a lot of crazy, funny things, and they're still funny today.
Yeah.
I watch a rerun every once in a while, and I can't remember doing it. And so it's like watching it for the first time. And they hold up.
And after Carol Burnett, you did Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And you had like Love Boat, and you had other things.
Did a lot of those little guest starring shows.
But Wonder Woman, you were Steve Trevor and Steve Trevor Jr.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how did you pull that
You got to be
off?
pretty talented to play your dad and your son. And just change the wardrobe, I guess.
Right, time change, time shift.
But yeah, that's what it was. I forgot now why they did that. I guess they wanted to change era, World War I to World War II.
I
And
know that they're doing it again. I mean, that's how they wanted to do it from the World War and then do it into the 70s into modern
oh, is
day.
this the new motion picture?
Yes.
By the
yes.
way, speaking of that, I thought they did a great job.
I think they should have given you a cameo. I think you should have played the dad or something.
I was too busy.
You were too doing the Carol Burnett 50th, right?
Yeah, right.
Now you're doing other things. I know that you're a sculptor, and I've seen some of the things you've done.
That's interesting that you should bring that up.
And they're kind of Rockwellian. I mean, they're interesting. They're whimsical.
Well, that's
And
a good
the
word.
faces are yes. So how did you get into sculpting?
We live in Jackson, Wyoming, 6 months out of the year.
Okay.
And that's a big art town. And I've seen these bronzes, and how do they do that? And an artist friend of mine said, I'll show you. And so we talked about it, and he set me up with some clay and a couple of modeling tools.
And you start with a frame, right?
Armature.
And then you have to stick the clay on.
Yeah, you stick the clay on, and then you sculpt the clay. Then you take the clay to the foundry, and the foundry does a mold, and they cast the mold in bronze, and they finish it up. So the artist really just does the clay model.
Okay.
But to do that, you have to think of what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then you have to be good enough to make the model.
You're very talented. Do you sell them? Do you?
Yeah. I'm in a gallery in Jackson Hole, and
Wonderful.
I started it about 10 years ago. I don't do it anymore. I just kind of unmotivated right now to do it, but I had a lot of fun, and it's really fun to see them sell. I've sold hundreds of them.
I wonder if you signed it and then you sold it.
Well, yeah, they're all signed in
Okay.
bronze.
Okay, and numbered.
It's and they're numbered,
edition.
yeah. So that was fun.
Very cool. And you did something else. You did Star Waggons.
Star Waggons is my baby. I started that company about 40 years ago. I was on the Wonder Woman show, and they
Saw the trailers were pretty dumpy.
well, they gave me a motorhome actually, which
Okay.
wasn't dumpy. It was very nice.
Oh,
And I asked where they got this, and they said, well, we rent it from some guy in the valley there.
okay.
And I says, what if you need 2 or 3 of them? They said, well, we find 2 or 3 other guys with motorhome.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
they just would rent motorhomes
Yeah,
from people.
so I was thinking, well, if I had a motorhome,
Okay.
would you rent it for me? They said, sure. It doesn't matter where you get it.
Right.
So I bought a motorhome. I think it cost at that time about $50,000,
Right.
and rented it to them for X amount of dollars a month, and showed a great profit. So then I started buying other ones, and I worked the fleet up to about 90 of these things. And then I decided that they were too expensive to upkeep.
You started building your own.
running
Your son's working.
the running gear and the engines were too expensive to maintain. So I said, why not do it in trailers? Because you
Okay.
got the same amenities.
Right. You just have to drag it in.
That's right. And the Teamsters send a driver and a truck. He'll pick up the trailer, drop it where they need it, and he can go on and do other things.
Sure.
So I started building trailers, designing building trailers.
I mean, I saw a video. I think it's your sons were
My sons, yeah, Jason.
Beau and Jason.
Yeah. I was going to name Jason Errol after Errol Flynn.
Sure.
Then I'd have 2 sons, Beau and Errol.
Oh no.
But
That would've been good.
my wife said, nah, that's
No.
just me. So, yeah, they run the business down. They're doing an excellent job.
But they're gorgeous inside. I mean, I saw a video of it. I mean,
They
I
are
want to live in them.
they
They're
are
gorgeous.
stunning.
Yes.
They're very high tech, and we're getting even higher tech. And we have 2 plants, and we build them all the time, and we don't sell them. We put them in our fleet and rent them.
Okay, and rent them.
Yep, we
to,
have-
to shows, to TV shows, to movie shows, to.
Oh yeah. Special events. I think there's
I mean, who would rent these?
the studios. For example,
Paramount.
Dancing with the Stars. I think they're coming up now, and I think we're putting like 30 trailers on that show alone.
That's amazing.
And when we did Carol's
Are
50,
they all connected? Can they be connected?
no.
So you can go through them like train cars.
Watch what you're thinking now.
Oh my.
And then on Carol's show, the 50th anniversary, we had I think 24 on that show.
So you rented the trailers for the show?
Well, they rented from my company.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, because we got the best stuff around, and
They're gorgeous.
There's
They're
nobody can
absolutely
compete
gorgeous.
with them.
Guys, I got to show you because you're gorgeous.
go to my website, starwaggons.com, and you'll
www.starwaggons.com.
2 G's on that.
That's right, like wagon.
So anyway, that's what happened. That's what's going on now. I don't do much anymore. I'm retired.
Okay.
We do a little traveling. We do a little golfing. And this is something new to me, doing these signings.
Well, we're thrilled you came.
Well,
we're
I'm-
thrilled you came, and people, I'm quite sure, are thrilled that you're here.
I'm just amazed because as an entrepreneur myself, I had no idea this existed to this degree. And they're big.
Yes.
And they're all over the country.
Yes.
And my cute little agent here said they're all over the world. But
Yes.
I don't want to go over the world into this, but
Well, she's all over the world.
yeah, I know she is.
Yeah.
Well, she's got a great job, and she does a great job. She is
Yeah, she's
very
wonderful.
very attentive to detail, and I'm quite impressed with her.
So, well, thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you so
Renee.
much. I want to ask you one more question.
Okay.
What is your secret to being married for 57 years? What
Okay.
is your secret?
Well,
I know you guys are gorgeous. Your wife is gorgeous. But what is the secret?
You have to keep the romance in it. That's why 2 times a week we go out to a restaurant for a little soft music, some candlelight, maybe a little dancing.
Okay.
I go on Tuesday, she goes on Friday. There you go.
Because I'm a newlywed, so I want to know how you've done it.
There's your answer then.
Oh no! All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Renee.
All right.
Welcome. You didn't say how long I've been married, did you?
57 years.
57 years.
57 years. Hey, if you want to keep talking about it, hey, forget about the ending. Go
No,
ahead.
we're fine. We're fine. I just want to let them know out there.
No, 57 years.
Wonderful wife. Her name
I mean,
is Sharon.
that is amazing. Sharon Kennedy, right?
Well, yeah, that was her name, yeah.
Sharon Waggoner now. So she changed her name?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because my husband made me change my name, and I'm glad I did. But, you know, everybody, not in this business, not everybody does that.
Well, I think, if you have a stage name, you wouldn't want to change that. But I didn't, I wasn't in the business then. So I was happy to do it, and I'm glad she did.
Yeah.
And
I've
seen her signature.
Commitment.
I've seen her signature on plenty of receipts. She's part Cherokee Indian.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't know that.
she has an Indian name. She's called Princess Running with MasterCard.
All right, very good.
That's my girl. Okay.
All right.
Are we doing?
We're done. Thank you. Once again, Renee Grindlinger, Lyle Waggoner, Celebrity Biograph.
Okay, man.